And I want you to follow all of the announcements. We have the spiritual retreat coming up, Joshua Ministry. Who's making the announcement for that? Come now. Reimagine flourishing in seasons of frustration. Have mercy, Jesus. So let's hear what they are going to say.
To Reverend Butts, to Reverend Backus, to Reverend Young, to Reverend Moore, the ministerial staff, the trustees, and the diaconate, as well as you, church family, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sharice Nelson. I'm the leader of the Joshua Ministry, as well as this year's spiritual retreat. And I'm here today with Sister Patricia Jordan, and we're going to tell you why you need to attend this year's retreat. Whether it's the ongoing shenanigans taking place on a national level, or seeing more and more people hurting and needing help on a local level, these hard times can not only cause frustration, but fatigue and disillusionment. But Romans 12:2 states, "Do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you know what is the good and acceptable and the perfect will of God." So this year's retreat, we're going to be reimagining things such as how to give your testimony, how to use your spiritual retreat, your spiritual gifts, and as well as how to maintain healthy relationships. We will have powerful speakers such as the dynamic Reverend Raquel Gill, who spoke last year and was also the revivalist for this year's Women's Week, as well as our very own minister Pamela Mason and Sister Pat Zola. So it's time to come out, it's time to come together, it's time to renew, refresh, and reclaim all the time that we've wasted on foolishness and nonsense. Amen?
Good morning. I would just like to tell you some of my reflections having attended the retreat 2 years, once in 2013 and then last year, 2016. And I proudly was the very first person to register last Sunday when they announced it. I think of 4 words that describe my experiences. They were both personal and prayerful. They were both social and spiritual. So every Sunday we come in and we very warmly greet each other, but we do it very quickly. You're on your way to the choir, you're on your way to your usher post, you're on your way to your favorite seat. We do it very, very warmly, but quickly. But at the retreat, you're up close and personal, and you get to know these people you've been saying hello to every Sunday, but you didn't know much about them. You're spending the weekend together. It's almost like being on a cruise ship, and you're all there together, so you get to know each other. I found people that knew my Melrose Project's childhood friends. I realized that someone had the same last name I had. I met the other Jordans in the church. I met someone from the Wadley Scholarship Program, and I even met someone who was a student of my ex-boyfriend in Freeport, Long Island. So it's a very nice way to get to know your family, but and socially, but also on the prayerful and spiritual notation. Multitudes of things happen, minute after minute after minute after minute. As a matter of fact, in 2013, that was the very first time I heard from Reverend Backus. He was the guest preacher. And then in 2016, I had dinner with Reverend Gill. It was like the time I had breakfast with Bobby Womack on the cruise ship. I'm telling you, it's a nice way to have an up-close and personal relationship with your church family. On the prayerful and spiritual note, a multitude of things happen. And one night and the Joshua Ministry does an amazing job of creating the activities and the structure. But one night we had our small group nightly discussion, and I think it was Sheila Boston who said, let's all form a circle and hold hands and just say what's on your mind and what you need prayer for. And that was 2013, and I really needed prayer for my daughter. She had just started college, and I thought I was going for a getaway, relaxing time, and my phone was just texting and getting calls from her. She was having an issue at college, and I said, please pray for my daughter. I didn't give the details. I just said, please pray for my daughter. We all held hands, and I'm telling you, the next morning she called me and said the issue was resolved. So if you want to be renewed, prayerfully, spiritually, if you want to be uplifted socially, Sharice quoted Romans. If you don't mind, Pastor Butts, I'd like to quote the OJs. There's going to be a train at the station, the Metro North Station. It takes a very short time to get there to Stanford. And please don't miss that train at the station, because if you miss it, I feel sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry for you.
Feel sorry for you. Yeah. Get on the board. All right. That was a great appeal. It was too long, but it was a great appeal. I love you and I thank you. But read the bulletin, beloved. We've got a back-to-school supply drive, the food pantry, the golf classic is coming up.